For those of you who have never watched much IndyCar before, yes, his name is in fact Will Power. And like fellow racers Stingray Robb and Scott Speed, he has undoubtedly one of the coolest names in motorsport. However, unlike Stingray Robb and Scott Speed, Will Power has actually had a world-class racing career, concerned more with winning races than clouting barriers. Hailing from Toowoomba in Australia, he's a two-time NTT IndyCar Series champion in both 2014 and 2022. He's also an Indianapolis 500 winner, winning by a staggering 3.1589 seconds in 2018. Power holds the record for the most pole positions in IndyCar Series history, breaking Mario Andretti's record on his way to the title in the 2022 season finale. He's won 39 IndyCar races and 2 Champ Car races, recorded 92 podium finishes in IndyCar, and is certainly a modern-day great. He boasts a unique and fiery personality with lots to unpack, so today we'll get into Will Power, the races that crafted a champion. Before we get into Will Power, we have an incredibly exciting announcement. Roll the clip. The awesome people at the FMS store have partnered with the channel in order to help provide you guys with some even better content in 2024. This is starting right now. To celebrate the partnership, we're going to be giving away a 1/18th scaled Will Power model, 3 1/64th scale Will Power models, and a Will Power cap. All you have to do to enter is follow the link in the description, apply for the DylanJamesGP VIP access, and comment anything you'd like down below. I will be picking 5 lucky comments for these items, and there's absolutely no reason why it couldn't be you. So best of luck, and back to Will Power. Let's get into his junior career so we can unpack how Will Power got to IndyCar in the first place. And we'll give you a whistle-stop tour of where it all began. There's not much record of his karting career, but let's assume for the sake of the video that it was successful, as he graduated to the Australian Formula Ford Championship in 1998. After a few years there, he eventually finished runner-up in the series in 2001, a year after securing the Queensland Formula Ford title, which ran alongside the nationwide series. In 2002, he was Australian Drivers' Champion, following in the footsteps of Kiwi fellow IndyCar superstar Scott Dixon a couple of years earlier. After 6 wins and a second-place finish in the Australian F3 Championship in 2002, he left Australia to pursue motorsport opportunities in Europe. A couple of disappointing years following in British F3, securing just 6 podiums across 2 campaigns. But he did snap up a role as a test driver for Minardi in Formula 1. He raced in the Formula Renault 3.5 series in 2005, a personal favourite series of mine, which was on par with GP2 at the time. He won 2 races and secured 3 pole positions, but ultimately only finished 7th in the championship. Fortunately, that saw a move to Champ Car for 2006, with an opportunity opening up at Team Australia. He was on pole position for the 2006 Lexmark Indy 300 at Surfers Paradise in Australia, but after contact with both Paul Tracy and Sebastian Bourdais, ultimately finished 12th. In 2007, he would improve, winning his first race at the inaugural Las Vegas Grand Prix. Hey F1, we did it first. At the 2007 Steelback Grand Prix of Toronto in torrential conditions, Power went from 4th to 1st in 14 laps, showing outstanding skill to win there. He would end up 4th in the standings, marking an impressive career in Champ Car. But now, let's get onto the races and moments that shaped him into a champion. 2009 was a key season in Will Power's career. After a decent 2008 campaign that saw him win the final Champ Car race at Long Beach, sanctioned by the IRL, Power moved to Team Pensky in place of Helio Castroneves, whilst Castroneves headed to Brazil to attend his federal tax evasion charges in court. He finished 6th in his debut for Pensky, a reasonable effort, and one that made Roger Penske take note of his talented young driver. For the 2009 Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, Helio Castroneves returned to his number 3 car, leaving Power without a seat. Having anticipated this situation arising, Pensky took one of the spare cars to Long Beach, and in a hurry, Will Power's iconic 12 Horizon car was born. Power returned to the circuit that had given him his maiden IndyCar sanctioned win, entering only on the Friday night and using his teammates' setup for the car. Despite all this drama, he outstandingly qualified on pole and ended up finishing the race in 2nd. He then finished 5th at the Indy 500, which should have been at least 2nd had the Penske team not had an issue at his final stop, denying him a chance to chase Helio Castroneves for the win. He was rewarded with a couple more drives in 2009, including a dominant dominant win in Edmonton, Canada, but suffered a season-ending crash at Sonoma. However, his performances in the early part of 2009, especially at St. Pete and Long Beach, secured his future at Team Pensky. The 2011 MoveThatBlock.com Indy 225 at New Hampshire, the race that birthed the Will Power double bird. Embroiled in a fierce championship battle with Dario Franchitti in 2011, which had seen tensions boil over in Toronto when the pair collided, every point mattered for Power. At the 2011 MoveThatBlock.com Indy 225 at New Hampshire, Will Power was set to gain points on Franchitti, with the Australian in 6th with 9 laps to go, compared to Franchitti back in P20. However, light rain was falling on the oval. Despite this, IndyCar officials allowed the race to go back to green flag running. At the restart, Danica Patrick spun, as did a number of drivers, and Power collected Patrick as he was unable to avoid her. Infuriated by the decision to restart the race, Will Power stormed out of his car, and upon seeing race director Brian Barnhart, showed him the iconic double bird that would become legendary in IndyCar. Despite the classification being reversed to end the race, nothing can take away from the iconic sight of Power showing the race officials what he really thought of them. The fiery side of Will Power has been seen since. He described how Romain Grosjean needed a punch in the face and gave Scott Dixon a piece of his mind in 2023 at Road America. Never change, Will Power. Never change. Finishing runner-up in one championship is tough. Losing a second is heartbreaking. Losing 3 in a row could break a driver's career, but Will Power is made of tough stuff. In 2010, Will Power lost the championship, having slid into the wall on lap 135 of the season finale in Homestead. In 2011, he was 18 points down going into the season finale in Las Vegas and got caught in the 15-car pileup that tragically took the life of Dan Weldon, causing the cancellation of the race. In 2012, Power led Ryan Hunter-Reay by 17 points going into the MAV TV 500 IndyCar World Championships at Fontana. It was all going well for Power until lap 55, when he spun and hit the wall. Pensky repaired the car, and this allowed Power to make up one crucial position by passing a car that had crashed on lap 60. Pensky retired the car on lap 66, meaning that Ryan Hunter-Reay had to finish 5th to win the title. Despite running outside of the top 5 all race, Hunter-Reay snuck back into the top 5 with 21 laps to go, and ultimately finished 4th, meaning that Power was resigned to 2nd again. However, in 2014, he held a commanding lead coming into Fontana, and this time, nearest rival Castroneves hit difficulty, finishing in 14th. Will Power crossed the line to finish in 9th, comfortably in control of the championship and finally completed the dream. He had finally won an IndyCar title after so many near misses. When you drive for Roger Penske, it's good to win championships, but you must win the Indy 500. For Will Power, this dream had been snatched from him cruelly in both 2009 and 2015. As already mentioned, pit stop dramas prevented him from taking the fight to Castroneves, and in 2015, he lost out to Juan Pablo Montoya by just 0.1064 seconds. However, in 2018, the stars aligned. After engaging in battles up at the front all day with pole sitter Ed Carpenter, the two of them sat behind Oriol Servia, Jack Harvey, and Stefan Wilson on the restart on lap 194. The 3 cars ahead of Power and Carpenter were desperately trying to save fuel and pull off a surprise victory. However, Wilson and Harvey had to pit at the end of lap 196, and Servia did so on lap 197. Suddenly, Will Power found himself with a clear track ahead of him, and his nearest competitor on the same strategy 3 seconds behind. Power cruised to victory, securing victory in one of the biggest races in the world, and cementing himself in IndyCar stardom. He gave Roger Penske his 17th Indianapolis 500 win as an owner. This list would not be complete without mentioning Will Power's greatest career achievement and arguably his most successful weekend in his career. Power had shown a new side to his character in 2022, looking much calmer throughout race weekends rather than being his fiery self, and this had produced stellar results. Heading into the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, Power held a 20-point championship lead from chasers Dixon and Newgarden, with Ericsson and McLaughlin further back and requiring a miracle win to secure the 2022 championship. Newgarden spun in qualifying, as Dixon was 13th on the grid, Ericsson 10th, and McLaughlin in 8th. Will Power then produced a scintillating qualifying lap to take pole position, which meant he broke Mario Andretti's record of pole positions in the IndyCar series, which is an incredible feat. Will Power is one incredibly fast driver, and this was a testament as to his raw talent and speed. In the race, he would come home third behind a dominant Alex Palou and a resurgent Newgarden, who went from last to second, but it would all be in vain as Power won the title by 16 points, securing his second in this series, on the same weekend when he broke Andretti's record. He is a truly magnificent driver, but that is what made Will Power an IndyCar champion. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to enter that giveaway because there is a really good chance that some of you could actually win stuff. Comment down below what you think of Will Power in his career, and I'll try and reply to as many of you as possible, and I will see you all in the next video. But until then, take care guys, and thank you very much for watching.